of Heroes of the Storm analysis of some kind. So let's do it. Thai Iced Tea is listed in the draft, but that is actually Pajamas R Us,
Yes, it
not
is.
adults with not Thai Iced Tea. It is Pajamas R Us. And I keep trying to say adults with jobs instead of Pajamas R Us. So good game.
Yeah, Pajamas
Uh,
are us versus adults with jobs. All
all
right.
right.
So let me get switched over to that link.
This is just so you guys know, luxury scrim is a trademark term.
It
So
is.
you can't use it without our permission. And
We trademarked the crap out of it.
yeah, if you want to use it, just let us know. Like we're mostly gonna approve it. So I think
Yeah,
that that's, you know.
I don't see why any royalties would be
Listen, not only is Domino's in our game, he's in our chat right now, and I don't like it because now everywhere I go, I see Domino's, and it's really I
needed.
don't like it. Like I'm so close to ordering pizza between this game and the next.
That's
I
awesome.
already ate dinner. Like I don't even need it, but I want.
well, well, the draft is going. Draft
Oh
is
wow.
going. So remember, Thai Ice Tea is actually Pajamas R Us. They went ahead and banned Li Ming and Adults with Jobs, counters with Rhaegar. No surprises there at all.
And now we have Zagara first pick. I mean, this is she's always been good. But
Hmm.
just and she wasn't changed recently, but just like teams are prioritizing her a lot. And I like it because I feel for a little while she was sort of a sleeper. She get picked up towards the end of drafts. But the maw is so huge on every map. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter what map. It's always
the
good.
Maw can be a team fight changer, regardless of how it's going. It can turn a completely losing team fight into a winning one. Plus, not only that, her potential for vision is just insane.
Yeah, and honestly, with Dragonshire, like you have the possibility to just have her dominate that top lane with plenty of room between her and mid, plenty of vision, so she can not, get rotated onto and killed.
Yep.
So good stuff there. And then Jaina getting picked up by adults with jobs. I mean, Jaina also is an adult with a job, so I think this
She
fits.
is. She has an important job of the most important job of keeping war from breaking out between the Alliance and the Horde.
Yeah, and she's also a mage of the Kirin Tor, like that's honest,
Yeah.
like that's her day job really, and then she has this whole other commitment regarding the Horde and the Alliance. So good
I hope
stuff
she's
there.
getting overtime.
I
Honestly.
doubt it. I honestly doubt it.
Yeah. And then
And then
Murden going to be grabbed right behind that super solid tank. We saw him a ton in the spring regional. This was this weekend. Over 70% win rate,
it's weird
I
how he
believe.
dropped off in importance there for a little bit
Just a little
um,
bit.
after the Avatar nerf, and people were sort of hesitant to pick him, but he's back. He's back, and
Yeah.
honestly, I don't think this is. It's not that bad an idea to pick him this early, so good on
Mm-mm.
them. I like it.
Yeah. And then Pajamas R Us goes ahead and grabs Falstad. And this is going to be Dragonshire, so Falstad with that global presence, that fly, going to be an absolutely insane asset for Pajamas R Us.
Yeah. Now, if you're I almost said Thai iced tea. Haha. If your pajamas are us, okay, they're gonna go Johanna. I like that because she's also a strong solo laner, so they
Yep.
can basically, if they want to, they can just rotate between mid and bot. Johanna helping to clear that out really quickly. Neither team has a support at this point, and now adults with jobs
Into the
have to
second ban
ban.
phase, yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you ban out of this? My thinking is ban the support you don't want them to have, and then
Yeah.
grab the one you want.
Yeah, I mean, a support ban makes a lot of sense since neither team has picked one, and well, they're actually going to ban Sonya. So we actually saw a lot of Sonya from higher tier teams on the
Yeah,
weekend, and
Naventic and Cloud9 both running her
oh
quite a
yeah,
bit.
that's all. So I actually like this move as opposed to the support bans because both those heroes are high impact heroes. Unfortunately for adults with jobs, the Sonya ban in a way kind of forces the Thrall ban
Yeah.
because you know that okay, like we don't really want to play Sonya, and then if your pajamas are us, you're like, okay, well, what kind of melee do they want to play? And like Thrall is the most obvious one left on the table.
Sure, it takes away a lot of that lane, solo lane presence because until we get Zool tomorrow, and I mean this is just a speculation, of course, But there's a lot of guesses that Zul's going to be very strong solo, so taking away that Thrall and having that Zagara could be a big boon to you.
And now adults with jobs go Tassadar Lily. So to me, looking at this now, I feel like we're gonna see a melee assassin of some kind.
Maybe
Uh,
Butcher?
I really don't like Butcher against Johanna. Like I feel like that's a mistake just because the blind is brutal.
It is.
I mean you kind
Adults
of are
with
taking
jobs kind of countering with a blind of their own as well.
it's good to get Lily off. Like if you're not gonna pick another support and you do plan to go Butcher or whatever, and you're not like you don't pick him in those two picks because if you pick him in those two picks, there's always a chance they go Lily and for another blind,
Sure.
like you said. So like they've taken that out of the situation, but I don't like Butcher against this composition. There's too many things that are bad about it. The Maw is bad. The Gust is really bad. Like as soon as he stops his charge,
Sure.
and the blind is I don't know. I don't like it against this composition. There's always a possibility that between Lamb to the Slaughter and Force Wall you could get some picks, but
Ooh. So Pajamas R Us goes with Anubarak as their secondary tank, and honestly, this is the best spot for Anubarak in my opinion. Is be that secondary tank. He's not really a bruiser, but he is a CC machine, and it is going to be so hard now. Just looking at this lineup for Lily to get her Jug of 1,000 Cups out and to actually keep it going for the full duration.
and I really like this Morales pickup actually, TBK, because
Oh, yeah.
they don't have a lot of burst damage on the side of Pajamas R Us, and Morales is going to be good in extended fights. So, and there it is. There's the Illidan.
Okay, so it is going to be Illidan. I was kind of wondering.
Now,
They do have the Tassadar to back him up, but it still could be kind of rough for him.
I don't. I'm worried about the Illidan because there are so many things that will stop the Illidan. There's potentially Cocoon. Bless Shield is always a danger. I mean, it's not a hard counter or anything.
No.
But we are talking about the blind. The blind is going to be an issue. Really, it's going to be hard. Like the Jaina player on Adults with Jobs, going to be hard pressed to help the Illidan by flanking and maybe trying to kill that
Yeah.
Morales early. So, very interested to see
I
it.
mean, even Zagara has very strong poke against Illidan with Hunter Killer and some of her other AoE abilities.
Yeah. I'm a bit confused about the Lily pick, honestly. At this point, I'm not. I mean, maybe Randy's gonna show us that it's really good, but they could have just picked Uther or something else, and then had like a better way to keep Illidan alive. And like, if you pick Illidan last anyways, it's unlikely that Pajamas R Us goes for Lily. But
Yeah.
I guess we're gonna see Retro Funk rocking that Master Illidan skin.
Woo!
So hey, hashtag Illidan to 20 maybe? I don't know.
I don't know.
I hope so.
I'd be very surprised if we saw anything but web wrap from Pajamas R Us as a new brat. I feel like that will be a massive asset to just counter this team of adults with jobs.
Yeah, like you said it already, like Cups like is gonna likely be interrupted every time. You got Web Wrap, or sorry, Cocoon. I always call it Web Wrap. Cocoon. You've had Bless Shield, Maw, like, or even if you're false side, you just gust the enemy team away from the Illidan. That's also an option, and just blow up the Illidan. So I'd like to see Retro Funk get some results on this Illidan, but I think the odds are stacked against him. Then again, it is Illidan, so you never know. Maybe Pajamas R Us are not prepared.
Yeah. No, it'll be interesting. I expect we'll see Zagara top lane solo.
Yeah, for sure.
Probably Tassadar against them. Tassadar's probably a middle of the road laner, but decent sustain, so should be able to keep himself up. So over here on the left side, on Pajamas R Us, we have Flage Lambda, Phage Lambda on the Nubrag, half and half on Morales, Crater on Johanna, Ice Shrimpe on Zagara, and Domino's Yum Yum Pizza on Falstad.
And adults with jaws, we have Retro Funk on Illidan, Archer on Muradin, Randy playing Lily,
Andy.
Nats on Tassadar, and Chase Chips on
Chase
Jaina.
Chips.
And man, they are all rocking a Cloud9 Hexagon mount, and they were rotating around the core in perfect unison.
Wow.
You gotta like that.
That's so beautiful.
It
Both
is.
teams picked opposite side party bushes.
Yeah.
Gotta respect that.
Yeah, that's nice. Nobody yet in each other's head, but I'm sure that will happen as the match goes on.
Tassadar rotating around to the top. Zagara still in the mid. Looks like she'll probably go around to the top as well, and looks like that lane will play out about as we expected.
Yeah, and that, she was actually just placing some creep in the mid. She was just taking an extra moment to do that, so good stuff. She didn't actually lose any XP because Tassadar shielded the minion, so it stayed alive. So,
Thanks, Tassadar.
thank you.
It looks like Pajamas R Us is going to do the 4-man rotation. Jaina's just staying in the middle for the soak, and 3-man on the bottom.
Yeah, really scary as Jaina to have people just constantly in your lane. And now here comes the rotation into the bottom. The Morales grenade comes out, actually hits 3 people. Pretty good job there. Not a lot of damage follow-up, though.
I'm really excited to see if Half and Half can just pull off some absolutely clutch grenades. I mean, we've seen it before. The ability for the Morales to just displace and put people in a position where she wants them is just fantastic, if you can aim that grenade.
I'm telling you, he's doing a pretty good job so far. And in the top, Tassadar is actually just 1v1 against the Zagara on the Shrine. They're just fighting. I don't think Tassadar is really going to get the better end of this, and now he's forced to E and just get out. But he's very low on health. The shield saves him.
Ooh, man. Super close. Good for Zagara to take that 1v1, grabbing the Shrine back, and there's a full-on fight in bottom lane.
Yeah, wow, Morales gets hit really badly. Illidan just trying to get away and actually will fall to the Falstad. Dominoes throws out the Stormbolt, and really at this point, it's really on adults with jobs to get out of here, but they don't want to give up the Shrine quite yet.
Yeah, Anubarak, Jaina in the middle, trying to keep Anubarak off that Shrine, but she's getting pretty low herself.
Yeah, I think she does have this interrupt fine, but very soon she's going to be forced to pull back. Now at this point, Pajamas R Us in a good position, holding both Shrines and really applying pressure, forcing.
The aggressive Burrow didn't quite get Jaina. She's going to rotate back around. Illidan did come up to help save her, but Nubarak is channeling. Oh, nice Frostbolt by Jaina to keep that interrupted. She did end up going Snowstorm, so the bigger radius on that Blizzard, but it was not to be. Nubarak does finish the channel. First Dragon Knight of the game going to Pajamas R Us.
Oh, and Half barely misses the grenade in the top lane to kill the Jaina. I could tell. I felt that before as a Morales player. I love it.
The Tassadar did go down.
Yeah, the Tassadar did go down, but it's still an unsatisfying end to that confrontation. No grenade in the back to secure a kill. They're getting a lot of mileage of this Dragon Knight, actually, TBK in the middle. They're just pushing down both those towers. So they're going to rotate bottom, probably try and get both of those as well.
And honestly, with the first Dragon Knight, usually if you can get 2 towers and a gate, you're doing pretty good. But it looks like they may actually end up getting 3 or 4 towers. Nice punt onto Illidan. Gonna knock him back way back behind enemy lines, and he might get picked off as he comes around.
Yeah, a nice use of the dive to cover some distance there, so it's good. And they are going to take down both these towers, as we said, TBK.
Yeah, and that gives them a nice level lead, too.
One thing I want to quickly point out is the Nubarak is actually not taking any Beetle talents whatsoever. Oh wow, in the mid, Murden just slipping away, getting behind his walls, so he's okay. But yeah, we have a Regeneration Master, Under King, and Urticating Spines from Nubarak. So not a Beetle build at all. I'll be interested to see how this works later on in the game.
Definitely more of a bruiser type build, as much as you can build a Nubarak as a bruiser, which is not too surprising. Johanna's really all the tank that Pajamas R Us is going to need, and so if a Nubarak can get that extra damage plus be that CC bot that we all know he can be, even better.
Yeah. Very condemned focus build from Johanna right now. Obviously Knight takes pawn at 1, but also Eternal Retaliation at 4. Which is not what you see all the time. So very interesting builds. I like it.
Yeah, and Conviction.
Yes. Yeah. Very interested to see how that works out. The lanes especially on the lower and upper parts of the map are very long. So movement speed is useful. Wow, and actually a Nubarak trying to make something happen here in the bottom lane.
Yeah, Giants are actually pushing up. Looks like they were trying to go in. I don't know if they realized there was so many people down at the bottom grabbing those mercs. Illidan taking quite a bit of damage. Has to pop that first aid to get back.
Yeah, and one thing we're seeing from these little engagements is that unless Adults with Jobs really commits to a fight, like the damage that they're doing is just getting canceled out by the Morales.
Yeah,
so
and look at this top lane too. This Zagara is just crapping all over the Tassadar right now.
Well, that certainly is one way to put it, as the creep is everywhere.
Yep.
And Nats at this point really hard pressed to hold on to this lane. He's going to lose this wall.
I mean, Dragon Shrines are coming back up, but look at this. We have both towers gone in the top, middle, and bottom for Adults with Jobs.
Yeah, and
They've done some serious pushing, and they're about to hit level 10. This is going to be really hard for Adults with Jobs to defend while they're down a level still.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be a tough hold for them. Zagara is pretty much aware that there's not really anybody else in her airspace here, so they're probably going to make a move right now. Yeah, Nubarak burrowing into the shrine. Meanwhile, Jaina's considering attacking the bottom shrine, but I don't think that's really a great idea. She does go for it, and now it's a 1v2.
Oh, Stiff Drone going out onto Johanna. Blessed Shield comes out, and looks like Jaina might fall. So close.
Wow.
This needs another shield, and oh my goodness, the tower slowing Johanna down just enough for Jaina to get away.
In the top lane, Illidan gets hit by Cocoon. He's in the middle of the lane. Tassadar are going to break him out. That was a heck of an engagement. Stim drone Johanna in the bottom.
I don't see that very often.
No.
And it almost worked too. It was within probably 100 or 200 health of working.
Honestly, it's almost more for the movement speed at that point, just because it lets her chase. And wow, Zagara really out of position here. Illidan all over her. She's going to be okay with the help from Manubarak, and Illidan is just going to pull back a little bit here.
And this is good. They actually stole that top shrine back, and they managed to hold this push off until they hit level 10, so now they're actually fighting on even ground.
Yeah, and there are really no surprises on either team besides we already know that Cocoon was selected by Nubarak. But
Archon instead of Force Wall, though.
Oh yeah, that's true. So that is a bit weird. I actually like it because I think they need the damage.
Yeah.
Illidan really trying to apply some pressure onto this tower. Love the use of the Ether to just keep the pressure on the medic, and she's really hard pressed to even leave that wall at this point.
Yeah, and the medic really can't heal herself very effectively right now, so any damage that goes onto the medic will be a lot more permanent than the damage on a Nubarak.
Ooh, and Muradin barely escapes death in the mid as Fallside comes in to help Zagara with that push. Illidan in the middle also, but it's a 1v3 here, now a 2v3. Fallside gets the stim drone and is just trying to mow Lily down, but they actually disengage.
Yeah, very good disengage. They saw that stim drone come out, and they noped right out of there.
In the top also, maybe an engagement about to happen here. Illidan going on Anubarak. Both teams playing very tacitly almost. Wow, but now Illidan's going back in.
Illidan goes in deep. The web wrap is on. Maul comes out but misses completely. Archon is out, and Illidan has to metamorphosis. He is running away. So much damage going on to him. Lily with the jugs coming out, just enough to heal him up to get away. Man, what a team fight.
Yeah, the metamorphosis was really well done because they hit 3 or 4 people. I gave him a bunch of health and let him get out of there. So good job there. It didn't really apply any offensive pressure, however, so they didn't really get anything from that.
And notice too, the Lily stayed behind that gate just in range of the jug so that they couldn't get that interrupt onto her because she didn't go out completely.
Wow, in the bottom lane, Jaina 1v1 against Johanna might pick up the kill here. Bless Shield goes out just to save her life, and oh wow, now Falstad flies in, and that's a dead Jaina.
Falstad flying down with the medic to secure that kill. Fantastic job. They just need to somehow grab this top shrine. Tassadar and Illidan now assaulting the last tower up top lane.
Yeah, good call here by them. Like, they don't need to play. They knew where everybody was on the map. Now they really don't, so they need to be careful here about how far forward they are on lane. But they basically trade out that life for a tower. Not a good trade. Wow, Illidan getting hit by the Stormbolt, gets hit by the Burrow and the spikes. He's so low. Gets hit by Cocoon. Wow, a little bit of a miscommunication there, TBK.
Yeah, the Gus went out right after the Cocoon went down. Nice metamorphosis. Unfortunately, it had to be defensive, but it does save his life.
Yeah, and we both a lot of heroics on cooldown now, so it'll be interesting to see how this team fight turns out.
Oh, Morales in the middle, chilling that Dragon Knight just in time. Everyone else was distracted. Beautiful grab by them, even though Anubarak ended up going down. Maul went out onto 2 people, but Tassadar was there to shield Illidan right afterwards, so no further damage. But man, the Adulterus is actually caught up in XP now.
Yeah, adults with jobs pretty much on the same XP here. They're just about to hit 14. Honestly, I like what I'm seeing from the talents, though, from Pajamas R Us. Preventative care for Morale is going to do a lot to slow down the Illidan. And it's not something you see picked a lot, but I actually really like it here. And the weird Johanna build continues with the punish slow speed increase at 13, so...
Oh, Falstad taking a ton of damage. Shrink Ray was used, but a nice gust to disengage everybody but Illidan, and they were able to save him. Jugs going out, going to top everybody off as they rotate down to try and stop this Dragon Knight.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not bad. Well, okay, actually, Johanna getting engaged here. Randy trying to body block on Lily, but no success there. Randy actually gets punched by the wall, but he's actually...
no.
Oh, wow,
just on the other side. Falstad, oh no. And he got caught. That was actually a fantastic Dragon Knight kick to just completely isolate him from the rest of his team. Illidan did get cocooned again. Metamorphosis going down. Blessed Shield goes out, Archon down, and so much damage going down on Pajamas R Us.
Yeah, this is actually a pretty good engagement for an adult with job. Johanna really low. Oh, wow, Morales just barely able to keep Johanna alive. Preventative care saves her life right there, absolutely, and now Jaina falls.
And not only that, they were able to draw them down into that tower range and get those extra shots for the damage. Ma goes out onto Tassadar. Invulnerability will keep him up for just a second, but I think he's going to get blown up.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, preventative care absolutely saved Johanna's life there.
Oh, yeah.
The decrease in auto attack speed was what saved her and allowed Morales to heal through it. So really nice pickup. I really like it. If you know who Illidan's focusing, you can just make sure that they're getting your heals, assuming that there's no other sort of overriding factors, and it really worked out.
And at the same time, I love to see Anubarak in this comp. He's not the main tank, so all of it's not depending on him, but his CC is just absolutely insane.
And now adults with jobs maybe looking for an engagement here. Muradin trying to force them away. They really just want to clear out these siege giants and hold on to these towers, which is what they're currently trying to do.
Right now, adults with jobs just needs to soak as well as they can. They're about a level behind. They need those 16 talents before they engage again.
And speaking of those 16 talents, we have imposing presence on Anubarak. So 2 sources of attack speed decrease. And we actually have no talent from Johanna yet. So nothing's selected. I don't know if it's something that's going to be really weird, and that's why they're holding on to it.
Think it's something Condemn related, Josh?
Potentially. Oh, wow, a double imposing presence?
Dang.
Plus preventative care for Morales. This is going to be really hard for this Illidan.
They just have it out for this Illidan.
But I like it. I mean, the Illidan is a major threat. Beyond the Johanna, the Illidan is really the major threat here. So, or beyond the Jaina, I mean.
Yeah, because once you negate Illidan, all you've got is Jaina, and Jaina's super squishy.
Yeah, and Archon will provide some burst damage, but not a ton, and obviously it's on a fairly long cooldown, so...
She did get improved Ice Block, so she does have that to kind of negate focus just in case she needs it.
I mean, ultimately, they don't have a ton of burst damage anyways, so hopefully she can use it to avoid, like, the worst of it, but... Now, adults with jobs, maybe, like, Tassadar are looking at maybe recapping this top shrine. They're not going to do that. They're making a move on bottom, though.
Yeah, and this is just a support and a tank versus a specialist and a tank, so probably not a whole lot to get done, but there are 4 members down at the bottom now. Poor Tassadar up by himself.
So now adults with jobs are a little bit behind on XP. They're down a level, but they're even talent tiers that can make something happen. They're all over this. Wow, Shrink Ray actually hits Morales, and she's dead. She's gone.
So beautiful. The Illidan jump right into the blizzard, but the Maw goes down, taking 2 members. And they're able to just blow up Wheelie.
Oh wow, Cocoon goes down on Illidan as well. Jaina just getting forced away by the Zagara, and Illidan's just going to fall here. There's really no way for him to get out of this.
He does take Falstad with him, though.
Yeah.
I mean, making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, if you can trade out like that, then you might as well try, because there's no way he's getting out of that alive, so good job.
And it was a great call by him. He knew exactly, he knew he was going to die, So instead of trying to run, he actually just went for the damage.
Yeah, now they're fighting over this mid because Pajamas RS has to do something. Johanna getting very low. Zagara just trying to put some pressure on Jaina just to force her away, and that Mutalisk is doing work, doing so much damage.
Not only that, that Avatar is just so imposing by Muradin. But all of a sudden, everyone's so low, and then he's just got this massive 3/4 health bar. Jaina channeling, she does manage to get the Dragon Knight. Adults with Jobs, the first Dragon Knight of the game.
Sort of wonder how much quicker they would have capped that had they had Force Wall on their side, because there were plenty of great opportunities to block people out, but in the end, it worked out, and now they have control of this. They're on the same level, at least, and we have a pause. All right.
It looks like half and half may have disconnected.
I gotta say, I gotta give some props to half and half. For the most part, some really solid Morales play.
Yeah, and especially that talent.
Honestly, the talents are mostly not what I would have selected, and I love Morales. I play her a lot. But I really love the preventative care.
Mm-hmm.
I know that I've talked a lot about it, but I really believe it. It is a very strong talent pick in this situation. We've seen it save lives, so.
And it's just one of those things. It may not be the normal talent pick, but at the same time, it's so perfectly useful for this game in particular.
It's very good adaptation. Because like you said, it's not something you would normally consider, but the two imposing presences plus that means that Illidan is always slowed, basically.
Yeah, he's very, very neutered as far as his damage goes. About to get started back. The Dragon Knight of Adults with Jobs pushing hard in middle. And they have actually caught up to level 18, only about a half level behind now.
No, this is actually a really good pickup for Adults with Jobs because now they're same level. They're a little bit behind XP, but they can make that up easily. There's plenty of structures on the map, and they have control of the Dragon Knight here. So really it's going to be about making sure their backline doesn't get engaged on. And currently that's what a Nubrak is looking at doing as he burrows in.
Yep. And that's an absolutely great offensive burrow, but nice kick by the Dragon Knight. Maw goes down, but only manages to get one member, and it is Tassadar. But he did manage to pop his invulnerability right at the last second. Jugs went down, but then Lily was cocooned. And, man, Pajamas are us on a rampage.
Yeah, Lily's probably going to die here. There's not really a good path for her to get out. That was a very good use of Cocoon to cancel the cups. In addition to that,
saving it.
The Maw almost secured a Tassadar kill.
They did,
even
but
though
Tassadar had that phase shift exactly when he needed it. He phase shift, he threw his shield on, and he was able to get away. But unfortunately, Jaina in the Dragon Knight is not going to be so lucky.
And TBK, I think that was actually his passive dimensional shift. Prescience.
Oh.
And it almost
did he
didn't
take that
go
talent?
off. Yes, he did. And it almost didn't go off because of how much burst damage he got hit with. Because he later in that fight, he actually manually activated his dimensional shift. So
then that was actually an extremely good talent pick for him.
Yeah, no, he was almost certainly dead there, but the prescience saved him. And like I said, there was so much burst it almost didn't go off. So
but Lily did get away because she is an annoying bugger with fast feet.
Got those fast feet.
Yep.
So now, Adults with Jobs, not yet 20, and Pajamas RSR. So now they really need to reconsider this team fight. They're down a person. They're not going to secure the Sanubrak kill. And Falstad looking for maybe a huge gust now. He's going to hold it.
Yeah, this is a good disengage by them. Like you said, Jaina was still dead. They don't have their Storm talents yet. It's just not a favorable fight right now. And, Stim goes down onto Falstad. Metamorphosis is used defensively to try and get away. Nice mob by Zagara, but it is Muradin inside. Gust to knock everybody else away, and this Muradin's just going to melt.
Oh, wow. Wow. He was trying to get away, maybe get over that wall, but nothing doing, unfortunately.
Yeah. Great gust by Dominoes to just completely disengage the rest of Adults with Jobs from the Muradin, just giving it really no chance.
And that's another issue with this map. Like I said, the lanes are pretty long on the bottom, and so Falstad can fly in and really make that be a big problem. Wow, so Illidan taking a lot of damage in the middle here. Manages to get away a little bit. Johanna and Nubrak putting some great pressure. Cups again interrupted. Yeah,
the Cocoon just doing work. Nice gust to disengage, and they're running because Medic is dead, and Retrofunk is doing work right now.
Wow, yeah. Now without the medic, it's a little bit dicey here to try and turn them around. So wow, everybody's so low.
Yeah, that was actually really good on the side of Pajamas R Us to actually get out and disengage that team fight with only one death, especially with the medic falling so early.
And now they need to be careful about the rotations, but they are in a commanding position. The medic is still down for 30 seconds. They have their whole team.
Yeah.
So they can definitely try and make something happen here during this delay. They have to watch out for Falstad and his global presence, but Retro Funk in the bottom.
Illidan taking on 3 people. This is really bad news for him. Blessed Shield goes out and he is just melted.
And just like that, the advantage of Adults with Jobs is gone. Because now they're going to be without Illidan for about 40 seconds after that Morales is respawned. And they're going to have an issue. The Illidan represents their best chance to kill Morales. And they
honestly, this is pretty crazy. We're almost 20 minutes into the game, and almost every fort is still standing.
Yeah, we haven't, like, neither of the teams is really, like, a strong split push team. I guess, obviously, Tassar has some potential, and Zagara, but, like, Zagara has actually been moving around the map a lot. So.
Yeah. Zagara going in, Muradin trying to stop this Dragon Channel. Maw goes out onto 2 people, and this could be really bad for Adults with Jobs.
Yeah, then now Nubrak in the fray there. Cubs popped immediately again, Cocoon. Cheese chips on Jaina, just trying to get away, maybe set up another flank. And the Archon comes out, but just the attack speed is so slow, TBK.
Yeah, the stim drone went out on Zagara, but unfortunately Zagara was melted almost to the point of death, so most of that stim drone was wasted, but they still did manage to get Jaina, and there's the Dragon Knight.
Yeah, and I had not considered how bad the imposing presence would affect the Tassadar Archon, but it's brutal. He's not getting a ton of damage out of that heroic, so very, very good pick. And they should be able to at least threaten to keep you.
Yeah, I mean, the whole team of Pajamas R Us is basically anti-attack speed.
Yep.
And so they're just not getting, all they've got is the Jaina damage. That's really their only big source of damage right now. And so they've just been targeting her and just killing her every time.
Yep, and they really should be able to get this keep with Jaina still down for 20 seconds. There's not a lot of great poke on the side of Adults with Jobs without Jaina, and Anubrak is looking to push the issue here in the Dragon Knight as they punt away Tassadar.
Yeah, and it's looking very much like this keep is going to go down. Still 80% life and 40 seconds left on this Dragon Knight. They might be able to try and go for a push here.
They really need to make sure they have a kill secured before they do that, and they're going to back up here as a result. Illidan looking to try and get on that medic, taking a little bit of poke.
He's a little far out.
Yeah, his team is way behind him. Metamorphosis only hitting like 2 targets. Cups comes out. You actually see the Dragon Knight be like, yeah, no, bye.
None of that. Maw goes out onto 3 members, though. Muradin is completely isolated. The stim drone goes out onto Falstad. Lots of damage going down, but Illidan is back with the vengeance. He gets punted away, and Pajamas R Us is actually on the retreat.
Yeah, wow. Falstad falls there. And now Morales also dead, and now this is looking great for Adults with Jobs. Illidan very low, but gets the shield from Tassar. He's going to be okay. And TBK, one of the big things that happened in that fight is when the Maw ended, we got a great Storm Shield from Tassadar.
Yeah, and not only that, there was no one over there to follow up the Maw because the fight had already moved. It had already moved past it, so everyone just got out of the Maw and was like, okay, let's keep chasing.
And a big part of that was Archer on Muradin. He looked like he was way ahead of his team, and he was, but he knew his limitations, and they weren't able to kill him. As a result, he zoned out much of the enemy team, so good job.
Yeah. It is so hard to kill a Muradin. He had Avatar, and not only did he have Avatar, he had his Stone Form, which is a massive, massive heal when your Avatar is up.
And he has Hardened Shield. I didn't see when exactly he popped it, but I mean, he had that available as well.
Yeah,
so,
and all that just equates to one basically unkillable Muradin.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time and or effort to destroy him, and they were basically just forced back. Unfortunately, Adults with Jobs has not really capitalized on their victory, and at this point, it's really just pretty even, with Pajamas R Us slightly ahead on XP.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, there is a keep down on the side of Adults with Jobs. If Pajamas R Us get one more good team fight in, if they can take down 2 or 3 members of Adults R Us, then they should be able to push core. It's really going to come down to who grabs this Dragon Knight, because at 24 minutes, this Dragon Knight is going to be insanely powerful.
Yeah, and and they're gonna take this top, or actually, sorry, Cheese Chips actually clean that up. And wow, this
Oh.
fight over the Bruiser, and Nubrak taking a ton of damage. 3-man Maw
Oh.
goes down, and Stim Drone is out as well.
Absolutely beautiful Maw. Nice gust by Falstad to knock everybody back. And so much damage going out. Lily doing a great job hiding behind there, but the Cocoon does go down, canceling that. And Pajamas Are Us is running.
Yeah, they managed to withstand the initial engagement of Pajamas Are Us, and now Adults with Jobs gonna be able to just clean out this lane a little bit. But it's actually pretty, it's pretty even trade. Basically every heroic is on cooldown, and nobody is lost on either side.
And now it's going to come down to the Shrines. Falstad trying to cap that real fast, but he's not going to be able to do anything against the 5-man.
So what do you think? If all heroics are down, which side do you take? What comp do you like?
With all heroics being down, I really like the CC and the attack speed slow of Pajamas Are Us. They've got so much like inbuilt counter to that Illidan that if they can pick that Jaina off, I think they can just win by default.
And then we see basically again the engagement coming out.
Gus goes down onto just one person. The Shrink Ray was out. Lily gonna finally pop that Jugs and actually get the full cast off onto her team, topping them all off, and looks like we're gonna see a 5-man Shrine fight. Metamorphosis goes down. So much damage going down onto Nubarak. Avatar has been popped. Nubarak getting extremely low. Medic trying to heal him up as much as possible. Tassadar pulling back just a little bit with that phase shift. Illidan getting extremely low as they try to back out, and no one has died yet. Poor Josh with audio issues.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Excellent. Sorry, I'm not really sure what's going on.
You were just probably stunned by that engagement where no one
I was 100% stunned by the trades here. So the sort of a lack of a decisive engagement, honestly, back and forth as these two teams posture around the temples. And at this point, looks like maybe there's going to be a big engagement from Pajamas Are Us.
Yeah, and I mean at this point there has to be an engage. Somebody has to just start this. Pajamas Are Us trying to get this Dragon Knight. Catapults actually were on Adults with Jobs' core and actually got a few percent knocked off.
Yeah, and it's actually still happening. Those catapults are still firing. There's a fresh minion wave, so lots of damage. And meanwhile in the mid, Jaina just so close to death that Gus to disengage, but no. And wow, so much value from those cups, but it's not going to matter. Jaina falls.
Yeah, but the catapults doing so much work back at the base. We're at 25%, Josh.
Yeah, now at this point, if you're Pajamas Are Us, you just want to extend this fight as long as possible. Let the wave push in.
Yeah, and I mean, they have the advantage. If they can take down another member of Adults with Jobs, they've got this. Simdrone goes out onto Falstad, attacking Murden. Murden's gonna fall. Medic is gonna fall as well. And now it's just it's a race. I don't think Illidan can take this 4v1.
Yeah, Illidan pretending he's ETC in the middle of that mosh pit there, but wow, okay, uses the dive to interrupt. At this point, though, I think he's out of options, and that's going to be a Dragon Knight end the game.
Yep, Gust, nice Gust to make sure that he couldn't try interrupting again, and this Dragon Knight's going to go straight for core, and at 28 minutes, there's nothing that Adults with Jobs is going to be able to do to stop this. The Dragon marching inexorably to the core.
Yeah,
One nice little
so
punt on Illidan at the end.
And that's it. That's a luxury scrim.
GG. Actually very close game.
Yeah, it was it was very close, and both teams were sort of near the end there at the late game. Neither really had an advantage. Like, we saw an engagement where both teams dumped every heroic they had, and nobody died. So, pretty evenly matched overall, but in the end, losing that keep was really bad. So
yeah, and that's what did it. And at the same time, you got to give a little credit to the Winions for prepping that core down to 25%.
No doubt, no doubt.